All right, I started this recording before I got to the next page. Let me get to the next page. There we go. All right, so a lot of review today. I'm going to do a lot with you, and then, what color should we use today? Let's use, the light ones are so pretty, but they don't show up real well. Okay, what was I going to say? A lot of review. I'm going to do some of it with you and then leave you to do some of it on your own. So section 1, we're not going to use notebook paper, but we are going to look through here. We're going to identify the numbered group of words by writing S for sentence, F if it's a fragment, or RO if it's a run-on. And we're not going to rewrite them. We're just going to identify them at this point. Remember, a sentence is just a complete thought. A fragment is a portion of a thought. And a run-on would be two or more sentences, but you probably won't see that at this point, that are not connected properly. So, number 1, once considered to be flat. Definitely not a sentence, definitely a fragment, right? Agree with me? Number 2. The Earth is now known to be a sphere that is slightly flattened at its poles. What do you think it is? Did you say sentence? If you did, you're correct. Before Columbus's journey, explorers feared that they might drop off the end of the world. What do you think? Sentence, fragment, or run-on? It is a perfectly great sentence. Okay? Number 4, if they sailed too far, you can almost feel it. You're like, what else is coming, right? It's not a complete thought. Some even imagined fierce dragons waiting under the earth to devour them. What do you think? Yeah, it's a sentence. In light of these fears, we realize how brave Christopher Columbus really was. He dared to go out against the tide of ignorance and superstition. Well, we haven't used run-on yet, so a pretty good guess that this might be. And why? Because here is a complete thought. In light of these fears, we realize how brave Christopher Columbus really was. That's a complete thought. Here's another one. He dared to go against the tide of ignorance and superstition. They have connected these two complete thoughts with a comma, which is incorrect. They either should have used a semicolon, or they should have used a comma and a connecting word. I would use the word like for. For he dared to go against. So a comma and a for would have worked. So this is a run-on. All right, let's go down to the next section. Mark each incorrect small letter. Add punctuation where needed. Okay, so there's like a bazillion things to do in these. When I look at the answers, I don't even want to grade as many things as they got on here. I'm just going to do 1, 2, and 3 with you. I'm just going to have you do 4, 5, 6, and 7. How about you do these 4, 5, 6, and 7. Circle those. So we'll just leave 8, 9, and 10 totally blank. Okay? All right, 1, 2, and 3 together. The Brooklyn Bridge spans the East River in New York City. All right, so the Brooklyn Bridge, gotta capitalize our bridge. Put 3 little lines. Spans the East River. That's the name of a river. So because river is named, we will capitalize it too. And we want to capitalize New York City. Okay? I don't see any punctuation, though, that we need to do. The graduating class of Victoria Christian School was addressed by Bernard Olson, PhD. He sounds serious. All right. Victory Christian School. Bernard, if you're a PhD, you'll probably want your name capitalized. Now, PhD are initials, so you need a period after that, and then D, and then also because it's the end of a sentence. Nonfiction, Christian fiction, and classic books may be used for your report, but check any other type of book with Mrs. Levinson. All right, so right off the bat, I see that I need to capitalize the first letter of my sentence, right? And then you see this list. So let's put commas in between them. And we put it after, no, we don't put it after Christian books. I always want to do that, and that's correct. All right, but, so we have another sentence coming. Now that but doesn't always mean there's a full sentence, but check any other type of book with Mrs. Levinson is an imperative sentence. Any other with Mrs. period and capital L, and they put a period at the end. All right, so that's what you're going to do for 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. All right, let me go to the next page. (185). Cross out the incorrect verbs in each sentence. All right, so I'll do a few of these with you. Let's say I do 5 of them with you. You're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're not going to worry about 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay? All right. The paper airplane raised or rose. We got a lot of this year, huh? As a gust of wind catched or caught it. Well, caught is the easy part. What do? We cross out the bad ones. Did the airplane raised or rose? Well, raised is lifting something up. The airplane got up. So we'll get rid of that. Those of you who digged or dug, well, we know, for the fence post, have did or done a 5 job. You have did or have done. Have done. He sat or sat down. You sat down. And sleeped or slept. In his easy chair. The Harrises have went or have gone. Went is just past. Past participle is have gone. So we get rid of that. Can or may Jonathan go? Can is he able to? May is he asking permission? And this sentence, he's asking permission. All right. So you do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on your own. All right. Let's look at look at the bottom, and we're just doing page 84 and 85. Let me make sure this doesn't extend into the next day. No. Okay. All right. Using nouns. For the nouns in the following sentences, write S, PN, DO, IO, and DA. All right. I'm going to do 3 of these with you, and you're going to do 4 and 5. Okay? Here we go. So Mr. Almeyer is an excellent pianist. All right. So what is Mr. Almeyer? He is definitely the subject, right? And I'm going to underline the verb twice. He is, that's a linking verb. So you're not going to have a direct object or an indirect object after it, okay? So it has to be predicate nominative, because it's not an object of the preposition. It's not a prepositional phrase. Mr. Almeyer and pianist are the same thing. Do you see that? So a predicate nominative just renames your subject. Ava, please give Mr. Thompson a moment of your time. Well, first of all, Ava is called the direct address because you're talking to her. You, please give. This is like an understood you. You is actually the subject of the sentence. So you give. How about we underline give as the verb? What do you give? Oh, well, you're not going to give time. Why? Because that's a prepositional phrase. So you're going to give a moment. The moment is your direct object. And who are you going to give a moment to? Mr. Thomas. He's the indirect object. Tyler, can you tell me about the life of King David and the man after God's own heart? About the life of King David after God's own heart. They're all prepositional phrases, by the way. We'll just get rid of them so we don't even consider them. Tyler is a direct address because you're talking to him. You is the subject, by the way. You can tell. You see that? Well, what can you tell? You can tell me. Me is the direct object. Okay? Now you do 4 and 5 on your own. And I don't see any prepositional phrases in those to confuse you. All right? All right, so you have a few to do on your own. Shouldn't be too long. You should be done in the next 5 minutes. Okay? Have a good day. And I believe we have, let's see, this was 84 and 85. We've got one more day together. All right, I'm going to make another lesson right now.